Alright, this is BCA 101. It's Wednesday. It's class. And the first thing we did was we went over the skills-based assessment. In the skills-based assessment, we talked about a path. And they talked about a path to a server. And if I remember right, it was something like S, and then lists the path to the server. What we're looking at there, in that case, that was some server sitting here at NIACC. So even in the PC area here, when we talk about storing stuff on the U drive, that's right here. And we also reviewed some things like the connection here, wired in, and our connection between these fiber optics. We also talked about the idea of being at home and using a VPN in which you would come through and actually allow you to access a server, for example, here at the college. Virtual private network. And in doing that, the information gets encrypted and decrypted on the ends. So these parties in between, for example, we talked about some information coming from my PC and going to a website, which I'll talk about in a minute, who can all see it in between those two locations. So we had the scenario where we looked at Win SCP secured copy, and I was running that on a computer here, and I contacted NIACC-Dirksen a particular computer running Linux here. So I'm sending a signal, sending packets and frames to here, and they're sending them back. And the fact that this is a secured, things are encrypted here to here, and then they're encrypted when they come back. Who can see that? Well, network administrators here, network administrators here, your ISP, the ISP, and whoever runs the network out here in the cloud at those particular locations. But if it's encrypted from here to here, they see the traffic, but they can't interpret what the traffic is. We also talked about the concept of storing things in a Dropbox or iCloud. You know, they have storage devices, and we can be at home, put it here, or we can be here at the college, and we can put something here and then access it. It's really not all that different. We talked about storing things here. I updated a file right here. But this software, the software to send it securely, if you could write some software in a browser that allows you to do that, anybody can start these type of companies. And there are a lot of them out there storing information. Alright, so we went through the outline. We talked about a number of things in the outline. We practiced some with the iPads. And this week we have on Friday the evaluation of Unit 2. We've got some things we're going to do first in class, and we're going to do the group part of the test and then the individual part of the test on Friday. To finish up the day, we talked about word processing, the idea of creating text to get something to say what you want it to say. And in doing that, we would edit. You can edit the text. You can move paragraphs, do spell checks or whatever. Lots of things you can do editing to get the text to say what you want it to say. And then the other thing we can do is format. We can get it to look the way we want it to look. Okay, you know how it looks. And we talked a little bit about like a piece of paper, and you might have a certain area there. Most people look here, excuse me, on a piece of paper, and you kind of do what they call a lazy C. There's different things you can do to direct people's eye. Different size of text and so forth, and we'll talk a little more about that Friday maybe if we have time, and then Monday. And that's it for this information.